my standard introduction is, this is one of my favorite tunes on the record. But this really is one of my favorite tunes on the record because it's jazz. It's really jazz. But what Tucson does with it, it just takes it over the top for me. You know, he's so talented in what he does in terms of rhyme and creation and lyricism. But he really has a chance to show off his singing chops on this tune.
It's a great tune, sort of swung, and it features a bunch of really great players. Walter Smith III played saxophone on it, and it was one of those things where he just came in and laid down like, I think 13 takes, and of course we took the first. It's just how it works with people like that. And also we had Taylor Agstey come in from New York City and play piano, and of course it was perfect. And yeah, so it was a lot of fun to produce this tune.
It follows more of the jazz vernacular, I would say, right from the beginning with the tom-toms up front, and the way that the whole tune just sort of comes into the show itself. So a lot more in terms of the arrangement. It feels like it lives in the jazz camp. But once again, it just still has a modern vibe to it. Whether it's the beat that's doing that or the production style, I'm not sure. But it's really engaging and really nice to listen to.
I think the best part about this song is just his vocal is great. There's all that interaction going on between his vocal and then the piano with Taylor Agstey doing all this great commentary, you know, around his lines.
Playing again, the instrumentalists do a great job of complementing him, again in a more sublime kind of a way, in a very jazz, complimentary, responsory kind of way, and it kind of just, it keeps a certain flow throughout the tune where no one is really stepping on top of one another, but everybody just complements from verse to chorus and throughout.
When I first heard it, some of the images that got conjured in my mind, went back to just some early jazz stuff, Roy Haynes or Alvin Jones, and some of the earthy kind of tribal grooves that some of the jazz music was taken back then. And then, in comes the hip-sounding piano and Fender Rhodes, I think, in back there. We got some guitar and a little bit of percussion effects, and it's modern jazz. It's modern jazz with the hip beat and the hip harmonies, great melodies, and once again the arrangement and the production just really engaging, brings you right in.
This tune is a great example of how this whole project kind of came together, and I say that because in the initial stages I had a piano track laid down, and Walter Smith came to the studio while he was in town for an unrelated project and recorded a saxophone solo that did stay in this tune without any lyrics on the top of it. So we're really going out on a limb on this one, just letting the solo stand by itself, and that's okay because that's what this tune is about, and that's really what it needs. And when you hear it, when you listen to Walter play, you'll know why we let it be. But after Walter's solo was recorded, Taylor Agstey comes around to record piano tracks, and to hear him respond to what Walter played in his solo, despite the fact that it happened probably 6 months after the fact, I guess I'm letting our little secret out of the bag, but just the way this whole thing came together one piece at a time, and finally in the end adding the technology to it to create the final product, I'm just really proud of that.